right, good morning. Do a quick audio check over here. Be right back. All right, looks like audio's good. Whew. I'm a little tired this morning, not gonna lie. All right, let's kind of look at what we got. Took a little loser over the night here. So we moved up here, we swept the high. Overnight, we kind of moved down. Made a new low. Goodness. So you're going to wait for it to cross 3 a.m. here, and then we'll start looking for the potential entry. So we kind of went up, made a new high. We have a shift back to the downside here. There's a small order block here on the 3-minute chart with a fair value gap above it and one working on one below it. So let's just kind of see what happens here if we open up. Both of these are on the same account. It's going to be on the Apex. And what we're looking for, I mean, we're kind of eyeballing the silver bullet here, but also looking for a couple of other things, and might take some momentum trades if we get it. Let's see what price offers us first. See what price has to offer us. Kind of storming here. It's thundering and lightning outside. Sounding all crazy, raining hard. I don't think it's raining right now, but I have to come in here and unplug everything because I didn't want to lose something to a lightning strike. Yeah, let's make sure I got everything set up right. Got about 1 minute here until 3 a.m. So looks like we might sell back down to the lows potentially at this moment. That's kind of what it's looking like. Might do things a little differently tonight. I may take the entry with 3 contracts, take one off at 10, 2 off at 20, and then let the third one run and put the stop at break even or 10. That's kind of what I was thinking this morning. It's kind of what I'm thinking this morning. So that will potentially lock in. If we can get something along those lines, you're looking at potentially $600 at least locking in, I think, if my math's right, and then kind of having a runner on there. All right, we're officially over 3 a.m., so we swept these highs. We were kind of working in a lower fair value gap here to the downside. So potentially we could just trade right back up into this gap with the order block above it and just take an entry. See what happens here. Give it a minute. Don't want to be the first of the party, if you know what I mean. Although this does look pretty decent. So we trade back up into this gap. I'm going to watch and see how price reacts, and potentially make it up to 362. If it rejects that 362, we'll take the entry. Because we only got to risk 7 handles there, 7 handles or so. If it trades back up into the 62 area. Well, sell so far. I do like that we got a market structure shift here on the 3 minute. We already had one on the 1 minute, but I'd like to kind of get confirmation here on the 3 minute. Always makes you feel a little stronger about it. A little stronger about the potential. Oh, I kind of keep a look on the ES here, see what it's doing. Very similar. Swept the highs, traded back through a gap there. Hasn't really offered an entry as of yet, though. We break through the VWAP here, relatively strong, and we may just take an entry. Obviously like to see a bounce, but if not, we'll just go ahead and take an entry. ES kind of bouncing off the VWAP there as well. Really like to see this thing trade back up into the 60 area, 61. We can take an entry there. Put our stop right here above this order block at 70, 69. That's kind of in line with the risk reward that I'd like to see. But we may not get that. But let's just wait and see. I'm trying to be a little more patient for my entry tonight. Haven't really been doing that. Been taking worse entries than I need to be taking. So put my order here on the book. If it goes back up and tags us in, great. This will kind of be the idea if we can get tagged in, you know, first, second, third. We are breaking through the VWAP here. See what's going on the ES. It's kind of doing the same thing.
Order filled.
Let's go ahead and participate with one here. Kind of target this swing low here. Liquidity here. This may just be going down to the sell side before it offers us any kind of an entry potentially. We don't want it to go without us, so we'll jump in here and see. If it looks like it's going to trade back up into that VWAP area, I may just take this off and just take a re-entry instead of taking a bigger loser. Instead of holding it through a lot of drawdown here. All right, I'm going to take it off.
Order filled.
I'm just going to take it off. We'll wait. So that cost us $120, but that's okay. Let's see if this thing bounces back up and gives us a good entry. Didn't want it to go without us, but that really shouldn't be my concern. I hate when I'm like that, right? If it kind of rejects there at the VWAP. Yeah, so I mean right here, you know, you see if you put the fib on the move so far, this is kind of trading into a premium here, so let's wait and see if it comes back up to that spot there. Just now realizing I didn't bring anything in here to drink. almost want to re-enter here, but let's just be patient, see what happens. You see we do have this fair value gap here on the 1 minute chart. It's kind of the first entry it's offered. Now that I'm looking at it, this is kind of where these relatively equal lows have been rested. So there is a possibility that we could just sweep these lows, which we did, and then kind of shift back to the upside here. So let's take a peek here and see what happens. It doesn't necessarily have to come all the way down here. I mean, it could, but doesn't necessarily have to. So if we kind of get back above the VWAP here and we get going, we'll take more of a potential scalp-like move here, scalp-like entry. But fix that right quick. But at the moment, it looks like it's just going to sell off here. Kind of looks that way anyway, right? Pivot down at the 293. I mean, overnight here, we pretty much just sold off at open. Well, actually yesterday from about 3 o'clock, we just kind of sold off. We opened up here, moved up, then moved down. What, basically 90 handles down, then move back up. I'm going to go ahead and take a short entry here. I'm just the longer that we're holding below the VWAP here, kind of gives me the feeling that we're just going to continue to sell off. But let's give it a second and see. But maybe get another touch of the VWAP here. Let's see, 46.
Order filled.
That's pretty loud. Let's turn that down a little bit. So just kind of risking I don't know, 130, 140 bucks here to see if we're on the right side. If we're not, if it, if it comes up and gets above the VWAP, then we'll know pretty quickly if we're on the wrong side or not here. Kind of got an order block here on the 1 minute with a small gap. There's one here. So, like I said, if it blasts up above the VWAP, then we'll pretty well know that we're probably on the wrong side here. Not looking good so far.
Stop filled.
So we got a structure shift back to the upside here on the 1 minute chart. Like I said, we took out that sell side liquidity down here. So let's see if this does offer us some sort of an entry here. May not, may just come all the way back. I mean, that's the thing. Like, you can make an argument here for both ways. It's not really that huge of a range. So it may just come back up here to premium. And then continue down. Or even this gap was close to the 50% level there. Really kind of a couple of stupid entries here. Cost myself $250 because, just be patient. Not really showing the patience so far. All right. All right, I'm going to buy the VWAP bounce here if we get it. I'd like for it to get a little lower here.
Order filled.
All right, 54. So we're going to look for the trade back up into that 61 level. Could reverse there. So we're just going to kind of eyeball it at that point. We'll have the stops at break even from there. I would expect it to trade up into that premium level at least. And then it could potentially kind of sell off from there. So we'll probably we'll take 2 off right in there. Leave a runner on if we can. Haven't dropped my stop yet. Just kind of holding it here. I wanted to just go. Well, not going so far. I kind of feel like I'm in a messing around mood. I don't really think that's great. Not a great idea, right?
Stop filled.
Yep, took me out on one there. I don't know why I didn't move that below the VWAP. It's kind of stupid, but I mean, this could just be the, traded up into this gap here just to sell off. I mean, I'm
Order filled.
over here being ultra impatient. I don't quite know why. I don't need to be, but we are. We are being impatient. I mean, this is kind of what we were looking for. It traded back up into a premium, and now it's selling off. But for some reason, I went long. Why did I go long there? I'm not quite sure.
Order filled.
All right, let's try this again. Short. This doesn't work, then we're just, I don't know, burned for the night here. Let's see what happens. See if we can't sell off here. See if we can't sell off. Kind of seems like that's what it wants to do. Maybe we'll look for something like that. A little bit. Take profit on the first at 15 if we get it. 20 on the second. And then 35 on the third. We'll see there. If we don't get this, then we may just be done for the night because I'm not thinking clearly here. I mean, my original bias was short, and I took these two unwarranted entries, and then for some reason I decided to go long when I was looking for it to trade back up into this area anyway. It did just kind of what I was thinking of. I was thinking to go a little higher, and then it rejected. So I really should have been short somewhere up in here, the 53 level. Well, looks like I'm just getting burned in both directions tonight so far. Let's see what we get. I was going to move my stop to where it needs to be, or where it originally was going to be. So we may take some drawdown on this trade. I mean, if it trades up, if it kind of makes a higher, a swing high here, higher swing high without any sort of rejection, then we may just kill this trade. But let's see what happens here. I'd hate to kill it and then go long, and then next thing you know, it kind of goes the direction we think it's going to go. But seems like that's kind of the night I'm having so far in the morning. So for whatever reason, not really. Doesn't seem like I'm seeing things all that clear. So we'll see if this thing starts to sell off here. Yeah, there was no waking up early tonight. Or this morning, I had the alarm set at 2:45, and it was raining, thunder and lightning, and oh yeah, it was so nice. I was sleeping really good. Sleeping really good. So far, kind of holding the 20 SMA there. ES kind of chopping around at the VWAP. You just start paying more attention to the ES here. It's offering the entries first, and I'm not even looking at it really. Not even looking at it. Not a huge fan of this trade so far. I mean, the 20 SMA is kind of pointing down. We have traded back above the VWAP, which I'm not in love with. But we'll give it a little time, see what happens. Give it a little bit of time, see where we end up. Obviously being a little more aggressive this morning. Good morning, futures trader. It's raining here in Pittsburgh too. Yeah. It was raining hard. A lot of thunder and lightning. Kind of went away right when I came in here. But, you know. What are you doing up at 3 a.m., futures trader? Other than this? So far, we're holding the 20 SMA. Maybe that'll push it on down here, get us going in the right direction. So, looking at the 15-minute chart here, I'm not loving the look of it, to be honest with you. It looks kind of bullish to me now. Last 15-minute candles almost engulfing the first one, and kind of looking bullish at this point, but we'll see what happens. As probably not going to give this thing too much room. We got $2,500 trailing drawdown, so we will be pretty aggressive here if we take this loser. So we'll be down maybe $1,400 or $1,500. So our next couple of entries will be pretty aggressive. And if we blow the account, we just blow the account. It's an eval account after all, so got to be aggressive. Well, hopefully you're long and not short there, futures trader. I don't know. I don't know which way to look at it. I mean, you know, this looks bearish, but it kind of bounced off the bottom here, and then we're just kind of, you know, got a higher high, higher low, lower high so far, so hopefully a lower low. But if this continues up, then I'd imagine this is going to go in the wrong direction for me. I'd like to see us get a push down below VWAP. I don't know why I don't know. I feel like I'm just taking entries before they really are warranted this morning. So, yeah, you're long. That's probably the right play. Like I said, the 15-minute chart's certainly looking a lot more bullish than bearish here. In fact, yeah, I'm going to take this off. And I'm probably going to switch long here because the ES is certainly looking like
order filled.
I was going to take the L on that. The ES is looking pretty bullish here. The 15-minute candle just made a new high there. So we're gonna
order filled.
We're gonna be aggressive. What I told you guys. So if we blow this account, we just blow it. Wow. Oh, man, we're probably gonna be blowing it. So getting close. It becomes comedy at this point, right? I mean, I'm sitting here short, wanting it to kind of trade back below the VWAP, and then for whatever reason, I take it off because I guess that was just a liquidity run right there, making that new swing high there, possibly. I don't know how much drawdown we got here. Not much. $400 more. So if we get to that $1,000, $1,100 mark, it's just gonna take us out. Holding the VWAP so far, but I'm breaking my rules tonight. It's not what I'm supposed to be doing, so. I mean, as soon as I said the ES looked like it was breaking out, it just pulled back too. As soon as we said that. Hey, futures trader, $6. Definitely, it's better than what I'm doing here, right? You get back above that 20 SMA and start pushing here. I don't know why I mean, that's the crazy thing about futures. You know, you can be long 1 second, short the next, get burned in both directions. And that's exactly what I'm doing here. ES finally starting to move back up here, so let the ES get above 70 here and get a potential breakout going. I mean, like I said, this is kind of looking bullish, but we may not have enough room going in heavy here with 4 contracts to kind of give it the drawdown that we need. So we need it to go. That's what we need. We need it just to go. In order to just kind of dig out of the hole you've dug, right? Get a little push here. Get back above that 20 SMA strong. I feel a little better about it. Need to get that ES going above 70 here. Kind of take us with it. If you're new here, I promise I don't normally trade this this bad. I woke up and I felt like being a little aggressive, and it's not worked out in my favor so far. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But so far it's not. But the night's not over, so we'll see what happens. You get through that 65 level strong here on the NAS. Yes, trying to push. It's approaching 68 here. Get above 69 on the ES, and I think we start going. Get kind of above that opening price there. Then we'll feel a little better about it. All right, back above the 20 SMA there. We should take profit here at $10 just so that we can say we were right on one trade, right? Seems reasonable. At this point, I guess the goal is just maybe get the account back to even or get it within reason. Dollar kind of moving down here. Do like that. It's about to make a new swing low. ES is pushing 68 and a quarter. Need to get it above that 69 level to really get going here. Looks like it might do it. It's kind of a slow grind at this point. Yeah, slowly goes up. That's a problem. I don't have patience, future trader. I'm bad with patience. Bad with the patience. But we're working on it, trying our best, trying to kind of get some, to get more confluence on this trade here from what's going on with the ES. Like I said, if the ES can get above the 69, I think we start to go. Got up to 68.75, and now it's kind of pulling back a little bit. But see, it's already above the VWAP and the 20 SMA there. So are we. So's the NQ, but want to see the ES kind of go here. It is in a slow uptrend here. Still looking pretty bullish on the 15-minute chart. So three green candles in a row so far on the 15-minute. Just now noticing they got a big black bar at the top of my screen. I don't quite know what caused that. That wasn't always there. Yeah, I'll have to figure that out later on. All right, get a little pullback here. Dollar kind of popping up there a little bit. ES pulling back as well. See if we can hold this 20 SMA or not. ES is testing that 20 SMA now. The 20 SMA kind of crossed the VWAP there on the 15-minute chart. So a little push here back up into the 68 level on the ES. See if it's got the power it needs to get through there this time. Guys, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like button for me. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Turn on the bell notification so that you know when I go live. Typically trade the London session every night, every morning. It's 3 a.m. here where I'm at. Well, 3:45, 3:47 technically. And then also trade the New York session starting at 9:20 until about 11 a.m. Sometimes it stream a little later than that, but somewhere in there. Well, this kind of needs to get going soon if it's going to go. ES back above 68 here, trying to get above that 69 level. I think that's kind of the line in the sand there. If we get above 69, then we probably revisit the high day. And maybe it could take the NQ with it. That's what we need to kind of, lighten the load on this loser that we're in the midst of, losing session. ES up to 68.25 here. Potentially trying to get above that 69 level. There it goes. It just tapped 69. Kind of rejected it a little bit there. Just need a little more power to get through there. Pulled back into that 67.75. Let's see if it can get through that 69 level now. Guess it decided it wanted to take a quick break and then maybe try again. All right, reapproaching the 69 level here. I'm going to be watching the ES pretty strong here. We start to move up. If this ES approaches the high a day, I may close this trade wherever we're at, because very decent chance the ES could just turn back down, and that will probably take us with it. But we'll see what happens. The high is at 72.50, so it's not like there's a huge range here, but tapped that 69 again, kind of rejected it. Need to get on through there to give us the power we need to move on up. It's kind of hanging out here at 68.25. Moving on up to 68.50. Possibly pushing through here. If it pushes through here, we'll probably get a nice little burst here on the NQ. Maybe get our first fill up there at the 69 level. Kind of watching here, hasn't made it through there yet. Need just a little burst to get through there. Trading back down to that 67 level. So just not having the power to get through there yet. Need it to get going if it's going to go. Just hanging out here at the 68. Want to get through that 69 and get moving up towards the high day there. See if it can do it this time. Getting a little pullback here. All right, ES back down to the 67 level here. A little pullback before maybe starting to try to test that 69 level again. Just need to pop through that 69 level here and we get going. I guess I could put the ES over here. I mean, we're not. So you guys can kind of see what's going on there in the ES. So you can see the ES right here. Change it to the. I like to watch the 3-minute chart. So, you know, hanging out above the 20 SMA there, I really want to see it push through the 68 level to kind of get us, 69 level to kind of get us going. We tapped it, kind of rejected it. So, we got to get that power to get through there. Reapproaching the 69 there. Looks like we might do it this time. See if we push through there and get going here. Tapping the 69 again. Would not really, don't want to double top here. Really want to push on through there. You can do an ES. Let's go. Get on through there. NAS trying to push now. Need the ES to go too, though. Let's see if we can get going here. I want to see that ES just pop right through here. Yeah, I think if we see that ES pop through the 69, we're going to get a nice little burst here on the NQ. Finally get going. 15,375 is your target. Yeah, I mean, it seems reasonable. I'm, you know, you can see kind of what I'm looking at here. I'll take 2 off before then if we can get there. 1 for the high a day and 1 runner. I'll move my stop to break even if we get through this first target. And then we won't, you know, at least we won't lose. ES finally popped that 69 level. I like that. Let's keep going. And of course, I'll keep an eye on the ES. If the ES gets kind of the high a day before we do, then we may adjust that. But let's stay above this 69 level here. Let's get going. Want to just get a little burst here right through the 69 level on the NAS. Take me out for my first fill. That would be nice. ES kind of rejecting the 69 level. Not great. It's kind of a slow grinder here, guys. Not really going as quickly as we'd like it to go, but does it ever? Maybe taking a little break there before we can move higher. Got to get going here. That 15-minute candle on the ES not looking too hot. Just a doji right now. I want to get that candle back full there. Kind of approaching the top of the hour here, so that small pullback really kind of expected if you're approaching the top of the hour. So ultimately that candle did turn, it turned green, but it's barely green. Momentum to the upside seems to be slowing a little bit, but if we can push through here and get going, then still got some potential here. All right, let's push on up here. Push on up here through the 69 level. Maybe the NAS will start front running here and bring the ES with it. That'd be nice. There we go. A little further here. A couple more, 3-4 more handles here. Get through that first target. Just want to keep pushing here. Kind of approaching that high to high trend line there. Just want to push through there. Usually you see a little resistance there, but should be able to push right through there. A little resistance right there. ES is also at the high to high trend line. Want to push through there strong. It's trying. It's starting to get through there now, so we should go. We get through this first target at 69 and we will reduce some of the risk here. So we are on the Apex account. We only got about 1,500 in drawdown. Not even, actually probably like 1,000. So we don't want this to, yeah, push futures. Let's blow on the screen, right? We'll get it on up there. But we got to be aware of the drawdown here. So ES back approaching that 69 level here. Let's get this pushed through 69 on the NQ. Get filled on the first, and then we'll kind of reduce some risk here.
Order filled.
There we go. So now that we're filled on the first one, we will, now the question is, where do you put your stop, right? I mean, I really would like it to get through that second one before I move my stops up, but Might get what I'm wishing for right here. All right, I'm going to go ahead and move this one up here just in case. You know, I'd like it to get through that 74 level first, but we're going to kind of trail this one up a little bit. So we'll leave that one right there, kind of locking in some on that one. I'd like for it to get through that 74 level though. Strong.
Stop filled.
That's kind of what I was worried about there, kind of a pullback, but that's all right. And I'm going to kind of put the other two right here at 60, 50. So that's locking in, what, 20, 40, 60. Another 120 bucks. I'd like for this thing to keep going, but can't lose on it. So actually, you know what? There's no point in having it up there. Let's just put it at break even. I mean, what's another $120? Not really much, right? Let's just put it at break even here. See if we can't get through the 74 level. And then potentially pierce the high a day there. We've held it this long, may as well. Can't lose at this point on this trade. Obviously, we're losing on the day, but that's okay. It's not so bad that we can't get it back. So let's just try to manage this okay. So stops at break even. I feel okay about that. I mean, we're about 10 handles above break where the entry is. So see if we can't get the push through 74, 75 here. And then potentially test that high a day. Maybe even go higher. ES kind of rejecting the 70 level there, pulling back into the 67s. Not a huge fan of that, but it kind of trading back below that high-to-high trend line that we were talking about. The NAS looking a little stronger so far. So I really want to get this push going here on the NAS, get back above that 68, 70 level. Maybe bring the ES back up with it. It did trade all the way back up into this fair value gap here, which is the furthest away. So that could kind of be a turnaround zone. Very well could be. Yeah, we've got it at break even, so we made it. I don't think we made it quite to your, no, we didn't make it quite to your 74, 75 target there. Hopefully we get there. I want to see us really hold this high-to-high trend line. It's at 62. If we break that trend line, then I'm not going to really be in love with it at that point. All right, took a little break there. Now it looks like it's about ready to push again. $15-minute chart still looking pretty bullish here. Kind of wick. I just got a big wick on the candle on the ES. Like I said, momentum to the upside on the ES, kind of slowing down here. But on the NQ, still looking strong. Looking a lot stronger than the ES is anyway. Coming back down, approaching that trend line. We may just kill it here if it breaks through that trend line. I mean, it won't be for much profit, but in fact, we could just we'll put our stop right there at 60.50 just in case. That's only locking in 3 handles there, so that's only $120, but that would be if it breaks that trend line, that high to high trend line. I'd like for it to stay above that. Kind of turning it into support. Actually, support, it's bounced off of it a couple times there. I'm going to retest it here again, it looks like. Need the ES to get going here. The ES really bringing us down now. That 15-minute candle right now on the ES is red. But I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and lock in a little more on one contract here. Let's just lock in some profit. I'd like for it to go here, but if it stops me out on this one, that's fine, and then we'll move this one back to break even.
Stop filled.
All right, so that puts us down $800, and we'll just leave this one where it is. So 4 handles, $80. So we'll still be down 700. And then we'll move our target up on this one to above high a day. And we'll just see how far it can go here. See how far it can go. Yeah, I traded pretty badly this morning. I don't know what I was thinking. I mean, even this entry that I'm in now, you know, looking back at the chart, kind of bottomed here. We had a shift in structure to the upside, right? Traded right back down into this fair value gap. So should have been getting long right here above the VWAP at 48. That's where my entry should have been. What was I doing? I don't know. I got long up here. Didn't put my stop where it needed to be. You know, it needs to be below the fair value gap. Oh, I don't even think I even saw that. Like literally, that's where the fair value gap would have been. So we swept that liquidity to the downside and then traded back into it. So should really be long here from about 48.50. And we moved up into the 72 level. So 22 handles. That's all right. 58.68. Yeah. 24 handles. That's what I've kind of noticed. Usually you're kind of guaranteed to get somewhere around that 25 handle mark on these moves. But man, what was I looking at? I blundered this. I mean, and obviously this is in hindsight, you know, clearly. But did I not click the... So this is where we should have been long from. Right in there. So you can see your stop goes at the bottom of the candle that makes the gap. Stop here. Kind of flirted with it a little bit, but probably can see it better on the 1 minute chart. Let's see. Yeah. Shift in structure here to the upside. There's the gap. Trade right back into it. So you get long from here. 64. You can get a a little worse entry, I guess, on the 1 minute, because on the 3 minute you'd be long from 48. So, oh, I'm sorry, this is on the ES. What I'm talking about. This is on the ES. But anyways, I mean, the same setup here on the ES. You'd be long from 64, trades up into the 69 level. That's your 5 handles. So that'd be your take profit target there. We're holding that upward trend line here. You know, I'd like to see us break higher here. I mean, I'm really thinking about moving my target on up and just making this you know, a lot of times around 4 a.m. we'll start getting that pump into open, since we've kind of sold off most of the night. What do we open up at? 72. We pumped up to 72, traded all the way back down to 59. I mean, where could we potentially trade back up into before open? Oh, that's on the ES. I'm not even looking at the right one. Gosh. Told you I'm sleepy this morning. What's going on? All right, so we opened up today. The NAS, we traded up to 375. We pull all the way back down to 315. And we bounce out of there. Make a new high. Lower low on the 15-minute chart. Potential higher high. Or lower high. Who knows? I don't know. Since I got my stop in here, I almost feel like I might want to just swing for the fences a little bit and maybe put my take profit up at the 400 level and just let it go. I mean, you can't lose on it, so there's no risk. There's no real risk in doing that, but we'll sit here for a little while longer and see what happens. Internet's acting funky here, blinking on and off, looks like. The stream still on? Seems to be. Futures trader, if you're still in here, did you cover? Or you got your stop at break even? Still got your target at 75? Maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe get back up into the 400s. I don't know that it'll get all the way up there without touching my stops. The only thing, you know, it's not going to just go straight up. So, although we are kind of staying in this trend line here, and if we hold that trend line, then stop would be safe. But this 15-minute candle on the NQ here is red so far. I need that thing to turn green and get back to pushing. So the last 15-minute candle on the ES is red. It closed red with a big doji, kind of a red hammer candle here. So maybe a sign of some weakness, but maybe just resting before moving a little higher here. So let's see if we can't get a little push going. Target remains the same. I like it. You definitely got more patience than I do. Sometimes I tend to shoot for the moon when it's not really called for, right? So we can get a push through high a day. I mean, realistically, that's that would be 30 handles, but so $600. Still be red, but that'd be fine. Yeah, let's do that. Let's take this down here, maybe to like 84 area. If we can get going here, I think that's reasonable. Kind of had some volatility there a moment ago. I don't quite know what that was, but ES is trying to make a new swing high here. That this 15-minute candle we're working on now is looking better, looking better. About to break out on the 15-minute chart here on the ES. So maybe get a nice little push here on the Nasdaq too. There we go. Looks like your target might be in sight. Don't want to jinx it, but looks like we might blast right through that 75 level this time. You can do it. ES still pushing here. Made a new swing high. See, if I'd had a little more patience there, futures, I would have left the 2 contracts on, but I don't know. I just don't have the patience. I can leave the 1 on pretty decently, but the 2 can't do it. I don't know. I mean, I could have just put the stop right where it is. That was, what we were looking at. But all right, making a new swing high there. Let's push right through the 75 level. Oh, nice little push up on the ES there. I'll be aware here as the ES approaches the high of day to see where we're at on the NQ. As if we are above high day before the ES is, which is what I'd like, then we'll move our target up as the ES continues to move up. Really maybe like to target the 90 area. Do all this work to just get to break even, right? But can we really call it work? Come on, 1 tick away from futures target there. You don't trade full size in night sessions. Yeah, it's probably a good idea. If this wasn't a combine, if this wasn't, a trading combine, I probably would be trading the micros too. But the thing is, is on Apex you can trade so many micros. I mean, almost get in just as much trouble if you don't manage it right. But what platform are you using there, futures? Are you using a personal account, or are you using a prop firm? And then also, are you using Tradeovate? I've been using Tradeovate, and while I like the platform, I've been having some issues with it lately. Experienced some lag and some extreme slippage this morning. I don't know what was going on. I entered a trade. I tried to move my stop. I had my target at $400, and it traded almost right to my target immediately, and I was trying to move it, and it would not allow me to move it. And so I just hit the exit button because I don't know what's going on. I didn't want to be in the trade. I don't want to be in the trade if it's not working right. So I hit the exit button, and it closed my position like 8 points lower than where I was actually at. So, and that would have ended up being a nice large trade, but didn't get it. That's not the only issue. I mean, I've been having some issues with Tradeovate. I don't know what's going on with it lately. Use your own account. That's good. I have an account. I was trading mine. I just haven't been doing this that long, so I want to get a little more experience before I go back to trading that account. There's your target, futures. You're filled. You didn't want to lose all the money in the account. I put it's probably like $1,800 in there right now. It's not a lot of money by any means, but I think I started with like 25. I lost $700, and then I said, okay, Let me do this prop firm thing for a little while and see how that works out. I actually got funded on one Apex account. MetaTrader AMP Global MetaTrader 5. Never heard of that. May need to check it out. You have any issues with it at all? I know one thing. I like the ease of use of Trade-of-8, but man, all the issues just makes you pull your hair out. All right, looks like we're going to be approaching high a day here. I'm liking, the ES kind of lagging a little bit, so I'm liking for a overshoot a high a day here. Of course, this is not guaranteed. We could kind of make an overshoot and then reject. So there we go, ES going now. Let's just kind of keep our eye on it here. Like for NQ, just continue up. I might move my target up into that 90 level if we keep pushing through here. Looks like ES is probably going to go for the high day here. Just got to get through that gap. If it does, we'll move our target up into that 90 area. Did kind of leave it in balance here. Oh, you've been using it 6 years. Well, I guess you would know then if it was having any issues by now. Gonna go ahead and move my target up here to 89. This could be ambitious, but let's see what we got. See if we can get it. If the ES approaches high a day before we get to 89, then we'll just take it off. But I think there's a possibility that we could just push right up through there. ES up to 71.50 here. Just kind of eyeballing it. Momentum slowing down a little bit. I'll go ahead and move our stop up a little bit here. ES is approaching the high a day here. See here. See if it pierces through there. Maybe get us filled here at the 89s. Should we move it up any higher? Nope, don't think we should. See if we get filled here. There it is.
What is filled?
I'll take it. All right, well that leaves us short $167 on the session here, but oh, it's going to 15,400. Come on, futures trader, you said that too late. You should have told me that 20 minutes ago, man. Come on. We need that prediction 20 minutes ago. Nah, I agree. That was my original, not my original, but that's what I was thinking. Only thing I was concerned with is if ES rejects, then, NAS may not make it. But, feels good to kind of be almost back to even. I was down about 150 last night, too, on the European Open, London Open, whatever. And, I mean, you got to think I was in this with 4 contracts. If I had a little more quejones, then we would have been holding these, but we didn't. We did not do it. This consolidation just, wouldn't do it. So, I mean, I feel okay about it. Like I said, at the end of the day, we're almost back to even, but I think we started the night down $80 from a trade that we had last night. So, down about $87 on this session here. I do agree with you, though. I think this probably will make it to the 400s. And, I mean, by morning, I was almost considering just putting my target, up some crazy number and just going to sleep. But I actually did that yesterday. I don't know if you guys watch Nutty Bar's channel or not, but he talks about a Walmart trade occasionally. So my daughter needed tires on her car. So I was on the phone with my cousin. He also trades. And I said, man, I'm thinking about just taking a long position and just going to Walmart and go get the tires on the car. So that's what I did. I put on a long position. I think I took I put like a 70 or 80 handle take profit, and then came back 2-3 hours later, walked in the door, and hit my target like right when I was walking in the door. So on one of the accounts anyway. The funny thing is I tried to close my position on the other account and it didn't close me out. And I would have been mad if I would have came back and it would have been in the red, but So obviously hindsight's 2020 on this trade here. Our entry here is not great. We swept this liquidity. These relatively equal lows here. Came down, swept that liquidity, had a market structure shift to the upside on the 3-minute chart, as well as on the 1-minute chart here. As you can see here, created a couple of gaps here. There's an imbalance here as well. So you got a fair value gap here with an imbalance, and it likes to repaint these imbalances. So what does it do? Trades right back into it, repaints the imbalances, bounces out of there. So really could have put your entry down here at the imbalance, 15,343. And right now we are all the way up to 94. So, you're looking at 50 handle. 50 handle move there potentially, but we certainly did not make it that simple. We kind of effed around and found out before all that. I mean, what are we doing here? We are taking a long position here, which I guess doesn't look so bad now. Why was my stop not below this level? But even if it was, we get taken out there. We move back up. Geez, we get long again here, and then no, we were short there, right? Yeah, we were short. Oops. Sell 39 by, wait, were we long or short here? No, we were long, right? Yeah, we were long. Then we got short. I don't know. One or the other. We got stopped out in both directions is the point. Now, I'm pretty sure we were short. I think all these were short positions because I didn't change my bias to long at all. So, obviously, this was a long. Okay, yeah, I don't know why am I making this so difficult? Dude, I'm telling you, I'm sleepy. All right, so this was a long. That's a short. That's a short. That's a short. That's a short. So I tried shorting 3 different times and got burned all 3 times. Like, what am I doing? So, after getting short the second time, we should realize, like, hey, this thing's not going. And none of these entries were great. I mean, this one's maybe okay because there's a small gap here, but not really. I mean, if you're going to get short at all, then it would be up here. But everybody's a millionaire in hindsight, right? We can all trade in hindsight. There's the 400 level. Good call there, futures trader. I don't think I would have had the stones to hold it through the 400 anyway unless I was asleep. But I was kind of thinking to myself, though, let's just leave this on and go to sleep. Yep, 400 hit exactly. And ES is breaking out. Oh, that's not the ES. I'm sure it's probably breaking out as well. There we go. Up into the 75 level. So it would have been a nice little trade there on the ES as well if you took it long from 64, 10 handles. So, well, I do think that's probably going to wrap it up for me. I will be live again this morning at 9:20 a.m. and hopefully, I'm just realizing I'm not even centered on the camera, man. I am just doing awful tonight. Hopefully we can do a little better. I mean, we ended the stream almost even, but obviously could have had more, right? Got that overshoot to the 05. So, but we're not going to mess around with it anymore tonight. We'll be back at 9:20 a.m. So if you haven't already, hit that like button, subscribe for me, turn on the bell notification so that you get notified whenever I go live, and we will see you next time. Appreciate you, future.